Episode 42. 3, 4,
Three.
3.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, welcome everybody to the Outdoor X Media Podcast. This week, we're going to discuss the trail camera ban on state land and kind of what else we got going on. That's kind of a hot topic right now.
Yeah, I was Nick texted me this morning on his way to work and he's like, so what's the deal with this? I'm hearing all sorts of stuff. And I'm like, well, I can only tell you what I've been told. So I think basically there's two parts to what everyone's been talking about as far as this goes?
Yeah, the trail camera, you cannot use trail cameras. I think it's worded basically you can't leave them out on state-owned land all night. So, and no one's going to put them out in the morning and pull them type of thing. So, and then the other ones, the landowners cannot party hunt during shotgun season.
Yep. So the trail cameras, what do you think?
I wish they would have asked for more feedback from the public and kind of eased into that instead of just dropping the ball and hey, this is the way it's going to be. But I guess that's government for you.
Yeah, it'll be I mean, there's already blowback. I mean, we got a couple buddies on the team that they hunt a lot of public, and it's definitely gonna have to you're gonna have to go into the new game plan this year.
So I talked to one of our teammates, Josh. I just got off the phone with him, and he mentioned that it was online somewhere already. So I have not seen that if it is yet in the regulations book, but if it is, I will find it here. Give me a few seconds.
Yeah, I had a couple. Aaron Gropner that's on the team that's from a different state. He was like, so no more cameras on public, and I'm like, well, yeah, kind of. I mean, as of right now, it's state ground. So county and federal I haven't heard anything direct.
So with that being said, if the county, in our chapter 25, there's nothing that says that we're trying to maybe go that route with all legalities, such as the trail camera thing, but that's not been done. So it's going to vary, I think, county to county. I wish they'd come out and just say, make it easy and say it's statewide, any state area, leave it at that, just to make it easy, because there's always a gray area. It seems like with this, but everything, it's up to the officer's discretion, which you call 99 officers or however many we have. I think it's probably less than that.
Yeah.
You'll get 99 different answers or whatever. It's kind of irritating, to say the least. They need to really make these laws black and white so people know exactly what they're doing. And I mean, ethics plays a huge part of that, no doubt. And that's one thing you're taught at a young age, the ethics in hunting. So as far as like your trail cameras, is it ethical to get a picture of a deer and run in there within 10 minutes and shoot him? No, I would say not. It's not a fair chase. But if you have your camera set on, hourly or 2 hours or twice daily or once daily, I think that's more ethical than the incident. I think the incident comes into play with ethics and legalities. I think in here it shows somewhere that I think it might say, I haven't found it yet, but something about electronic devices aiding in hunting.
Yeah. Basically, they're drones, CBs, cell phones, and they're trying to lump this into that. But exactly like you said, what is aiding in the hunt? Is it getting a picture and then, hunting 3 hours later? Is it, you're in one stand and you get a picture of a buck 500 yards away and you jump down and try to cut him off? It's so gray. And the crazy part is the whole premise behind these law changes and regulations is they wanted to make it more streamlined and easier to use. And I think they've done the opposite.
No, I don't think they're making it more streamlined and easier to use. I think they're limiting those people that, for the hunting side, they're limiting those landowners that were taking, that were not necessarily breaking the rule, but they were kind of in a gray area with the landowner, non-resident.
Oh, I was talking about cell cameras.
Well, the cell cams, I think, on my side of things, I agree with it, because a lot of these cell cameras, not all of them, I mean, maybe a 20-30%, and I've seen this firsthand, is those cameras are on bait, and they're on mineral.
Right.
The public land hunter, and I can count on your hands and mine how many times I've seen it on public land where there's a mineral site. Well, that guy just ruined it for everybody, because that, average Joe just goes out, I'm gonna get pictures of a deer in the summer. Okay, well, you just, that spot is now tainted with your mineral in the soil, which I definitely oppose on public land, because you're ruining it for everybody.
Yeah, the way the law states, you can't bait, you can't have mineral out. So yeah, there's other states where you can, and you can do whatever you want. But I just what I was getting back to with the not streamlining is they said they wanted to lump all the blinds and decoys and cameras all into one section as far as public land usage goes. And basically, from what I gather, is the only thing you can leave out on public land during the season is a tree stand.
Yeah, and that's the blinds have always, you're supposed to have the blinds down too. I mean, that's always been in the regs, but
Oh, okay. I knew decoys, like you couldn't put decoys out before midnight. Like that's more waterfowl, but
yeah. I think a lot of these officers have got a ton of calls in the last month or two regarding this. So and they're trying to do their job with, fishing and all that stuff right now. So they're very busy, and some will answer your phone calls, and some will call you back. And I would like to see them produce a newsletter article, or put out an article to showcase these laws and make sure that they're wrote, up to par, so everybody can say, hey, this is what I can and can't do, and maybe even have a list if the counties are going to allow it, which, if they're going to do it for statewide, they might as well, they're state-owned properties, they might as well do county and federal. And that's kind of a toss-up. I'm not sure. It's kind of weird that you would be able to do it on state land, but you could do it on some counties. It's very, very interesting topic, and I've asked that question a couple times to the higher ups, and like I said, there's nothing in our regs that state that, but it's very touchy. Definitely, I don't see anything currently. I think maybe these regs are old. I know in the question and answers under the website, they did have a couple places that had some questions that were answered by DNR personnel that said non-residents cannot hunt, and I've never seen anything about cell cams yet. So
yeah, I mean, we've had personal talks about the non-resident stuff, and there's I think there's two different aspects to it, in my opinion. There's the guy that's from out of state basically paying somebody for their tag to sit in a blind with them to kill a buck. And then there's the guys that, like our party group, I've told you about it. We had a guy, he's my age. He moved out of the state, got married, had a kid, and he would come back, buy a doe tag, and he's only comes back every 3 or 4 years. So now they're saying that he can't fill anybody else's tag.
Yep. which I just
And
found that clarification is under non-resident application process. Facts, answers, and questions. And it says here, is party hunting allowed? Question mark. And then the DNR put under there, no, party hunting is not allowed. So it's pretty simple there. Trophy Bucks of Iowa on March 20th had a post. They did reach out to the Iowa DNR for clarification. And hopefully sooner than later we see that. But have I put cameras out on public lands before? I have. And do cell cams help kill deer? Definitely. It's technology, it's evolution. I don't know that going backwards and us evolving is going to do any good besides, maybe limit those public land hunters a little bit opposed to the private land hunters, which I don't know percentage wise what's, how many percentage of hunters hunt private over public, or maybe both. But I would say majority of my friends hunt private, and I'm fair to say your friends do the same. There's just a guess, maybe 10% of my friends hunt public. Is that fair?
yeah, that 10 to 20%, it may not be sole public. Like they may have a public spot they hit, or they'll run cameras and, hey, I got a big deer, I might start hunting there a little bit more,
Yeah.
So
it'd be nice if they come out with something sooner than later. Get these phone calls off their backs. And there's a lot of podcasts out there talking about this because it's a hot topic, and it's very interesting. We'll see what happens, and I hope they clarify the county and federal if that's different than the state. It's one thing I really hope they do. If they don't, there might be some issues there, but it'll be interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I'm not a big, I guess it doesn't bother me because I don't deal with a lot of public ground, but I could see how if you solely hunted public, that this is maybe a little bit excessive.
Yeah. But the other thing to that too is, okay, so now they're allowing different cartridges. Now they're going to allow straight wall rifles. Like, when does it stop? When is it going to evolve into no cameras at all? Like, I mean, just like out west, they banned cameras. So
right.
I hope they're not sinking their teeth in for something like that, because to be honest with you, I would rather probably run cameras and watch deer than actually go shoot deer. I mean, it's an addiction getting those pictures.
Oh, yeah.
We're on the same page because we run a lot of cameras. But I would, at this point, I don't know. I might even shy away from hunting like I do now, which maybe it's a good thing, but I see it as a bad thing because my drive wouldn't be there. I mean, like we were talking last night, you might shoot your fourth biggest deer on camera. But and we've had this discussion in other Snapchat groups, is a lot of these cell cameras are making it so we can age deer on the fly. We know who's around, but also security purposes. I mean, like my property, last year I was in Puerto Rico and I had 5 or 6 people come through, security wise. I called dispatch and they sent an officer out there. But so I'm still running for security, whether it's a deer walks through that my drive like it did last year, then I went out the next day and shot him, type of thing.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like a little overstepping bounds, in my opinion. Like, I don't know. I mean, I understand it. I get it both ways, but at the same time, I don't agree with it for the most part. I think there should be no reason you can't run all the cameras you want. Just like the big thing with the drones, like recovering a drone, like we can't do it in Iowa. You can't use drones to recover down game, which absolutely blows my mind that we are taught at a young age not to waste anything. And we have the technology to help us recover game, and they just say no.
And that's where ethics plays a part, and the government overrule is overshadowed by you can't use a drone, which I totally agree with. You should be able to use a drone. There should be stipulations where you have to have a certified drone pilot. You can only fly at night. You can't go shoot a deer at night. You should be able to fly a drone at night and locate the game. And if it's you have someone that you pay $200 or whatever it is to come, the deer's still alive. All right, close the screen. Still alive. Good luck. Move on. Not just, oh, I'm gonna go sneak another arrow in him or anything. Ethics comes back into play. I mean, that's a huge thing, and I don't agree with that either. And I think the state, those employees, and the whole legislator thing is they need to ask for the public's opinion on some of this stuff, and they just kind of push it under the table, which it doesn't. I mean, we're having this talk, if we would have known about it and people could have lobbied and said, hey, we want cameras on state ground, maybe no cell cameras, ease into it that way, not just blatantly say no cameras. So,
yeah.
But I know for a fact that talking to Josh, his dad's an out-of-stater, and that's how he comes and hunts. He just bought a place down south, a house, so he could do that a couple months ago. And now look, he can't. I mean, he buys points, so he can come every 3 to 4 years. But as far as every year goes, he's out, and that's a lot of non-residents, and that's property prices might change with that. With that being said, with non-residents selling their properties and going to Kansas where they can't hunt every year.
Yeah, and the one thing I'd like clarification, and I'll probably call my DNR guy down south, is so with the party hunting thing, can you still hunt in the group, but you can only fill your tag? Because I think that would, I would assume that would be fine. So if you draw a tag and you got a buck tag, and I think if you buy a buck tag, you have to get a doe tag, right?
I believe so. Yeah. Yep.
So you have 2 tags and you shoot your buck and your doe, or your 2 does, or whatever you want to do, and you're done.
Yep. But yeah,
I would assume so, but
hunting, I believe, is the usage of the tag. You cannot,
like it's a pot. It's a pot. Like everybody can fill everybody's tag.
I think it's probably still group hunt, but yeah, that's good to get clarification on that. That would be something to talk to your local officer, because I've not heard that one.
Yeah. That's and like I said, I mean, you party hunted with us a couple years ago, and I've said it a billion times that it gets a bad rap, but I mean, you saw our group is definitely the minority in the vast overwhelming of party hunting in Iowa. So I always get a little bit of butthurt about it when people talk bad about it, because I've seen the bad groups. I just have never experienced it. So
yeah, I've experienced it firsthand when I was working as a seasonal, and the groups that are doing some shady stuff are the ones that you pull up to collect CWD samples, and they're running away and they're not wanting to talk. And the groups like yours, where you have guys that work directly, for the legislator or whatever, and they're hey, come check us. Love for you to check us. Come collect our CWD samples. We'd love to see you out doing your job, type of thing. And these officers are working their butts off during that time. And I can't imagine being in their shoes right now and getting all these calls, one on the non-residents that not being able to party hunt. I guess need clarification on that, and then the cell cams or trail cameras in general. So their phones are ringing off the hook, I'm sure. But hopefully clarification comes out sooner than later, and there's something published. And if you guys that are listening to this, if you've seen anything, go ahead and shoot us a message with the link. That would be great.
Yeah. We're always willing and eager to learn other things and get other stances and see how people think about it. And, we're all for differing opinions. It makes for good conversation.
Yeah, it definitely does. And try to clarify some things up on that end. But as far as plots and stuff goes, we've got a ton of rain. Your clover plots look good. My plots, first year plots look good. It's going to be exciting fall. I think we've both got a couple of the flashbacks out, which I would say that's my favorite camera that I've ever ran. It's a cell camera from Stealth Cam called the Flashback, and it's a white flash. And I am excited to get some pictures of some velvet deer here shortly.
Yeah, I have 2. I have 4 more in my cart I need to pay for and get them sent this way because I put them both out yesterday, and the first like hour after light or hour after dark picture I got, and I looked at it, I'm like, oh crap, I forgot.
Yeah.
It's not black and white, it's flash. This, it was rainy and it was a doe, so it wasn't like a great picture because there was rain on the lens. But I've since gotten quite a few pictures, and actually that big buck I got this morning I sent to the Snap group was on a flashback, but I don't know why he didn't come in. He's 30 yards in the background, but I think he's already got his G4s.
Munching on clover.
Well, that's a brand new plot. I just cut that. It was just weeds.
Nice.
So
yeah,
that's going to be clover and brassicas, and going forward, it will be another clover plot.
Awesome. Yeah, I had a nice one come through too a couple of days ago, maybe yesterday, through my security camera. He didn't walk in the plot or by the apple trees or anything, but he looked like he had a lot of stuff going on. So that'll be fun watching him. Hopefully, with this wet spring into summer, the growing season should be ideal. It should be.
Yeah. Yep. As long as we can keep getting rain, intermittently, I'm all for it.
It even rained tonight. It was raining sideways, and then last night we got about 1.5 2 inches of rain. The sump pump was running, had just a tiny bit of water in the garage, so you know it rained a lot when I get water in here. But if you see a big pile of sheds over my shoulder, that's actually Jesse's. We're selling some sheds, old crappy ones that we don't use, and we got a guy coming to makes dog.
Yeah, my pile's super sad now.
And large, all your large antlers.
Yeah, it used to be that tall though. So
you made some room.
It's one of those things. I only look at about 5% of my sheds. All the other ones, they make for a cool pile, and I'd rather put the money towards stuff on the farm or more trail cameras, or I ordered a new Matthews and all that stuff. So that's the thing. I'm realizing that I don't need a pile of sheds that really don't mean anything to me.
Right. And you were talking how many thousands of miles just in that collection that you've walked to find those sheds.
I'd hate to know. I mean, it's probably well into 10,000 plus miles. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of walking. It's been a few years, and you've never sold, so it's.
Yeah, I sold about 12 years ago. I sold 150 pounds. Nice. So that's basically 10 years worth of sheds that don't mean anything to me anymore.
Yeah.
So
if you guys are wondering what these sheds, what they'll do with them, these buyers they'll either turn them into dog chews or they'll grind them up into pills and ship to China. So very interesting tactics that they have. So, but yeah, other than that, we still got to get our earth ponds in once you get back from Bermuda or Caribbean or wherever the heck you're going.
Dominican Republic, Punta Cana.
It's warm.
Yeah, so it'll be warm, beach family vacation. So, and then I have to replant corn.
Yeah, get these earth ponds in, plant your corn that failed because the germ was 0%.
Yeah, but there's time, and I'm not worried about a huge yield. I mean, this is just deer eating it, so I'll get back. I ordered my basically Roundup yesterday, so it'll be here when I get back, and I'm gonna go and nuke the entire food plot. There were some grasses growing in the middle, and I'm gonna nuke the whole thing again, and then mow it down because some of the grass is pretty tall. And then when my uncle gets back from Brainerd fishing, we'll get that planted.
Nice. Yeah, 'tis the season. Get stuff in the ground. So,
Yep. And hopefully keep on getting some rain.
Yep. Just do a rain dance or two. I think we're gonna be good on that end. Just these showers are real nice. But yeah, I guess we'll end it with that. You got stuff to do tonight. Get packed up.
Yep. I got to edit all this and get it up so it's ready to go Sunday morning.
I got to get my post done, so I'm back to work.
Perfect. All right. Well,
thanks for listening, guys.
Yep. Later.
Later.